Parents strongly caution the following programs are intended for mature audiences over the age of 18. These programs may contain some material that many parents would not find suitable for children and may include intense violence, sexual situations, coarse language, and suggestive dialogue.
I done fucked up and left the goddamn sponsor logo.
I can't see. Oh, hey.
you
Welcome to season 2.
First episode of season 2, and I'm done fucking shit up.
The way to do it.
Hey, it's got to happen at some point. All right, so we have Michael from BornBroken here with us today. How you doing, dude?
Good. What up?
Hey.
Oh man, it's been a trip. It's been a trip. So the way we run this, you got questions 1 through 83. You can pick a number or you can roll the dice. It's totally up to you on what you want to do.
Let's roll the dice.
Let's roll them. We're going to go with 24. Number 24 is yes, Mystery Machine or Optimus Prime. And I'm going to judge you.
Don't let her threaten you like that.
I like both.
You got to pick one. I like them both.
Okay, you know what? Mystery Machine.
Yes! All right, I like you.
Yeah. I guess that dates me because we used to always get back and watch Scooby-Doo and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I always thought, Shaggy was a real stoner, so it was like, yeah, okay,
He was a real stoner.
Yeah.
It was. Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know how many drinking games we probably played to watching Scooby-Doo, you know.
Oh yeah, I love Scooby-Doo, so I hear you. All right.
But Optimus Prime, I'm not gonna say I used to watch Transformers a lot too as a kid. So
I know I still watch Transformers to this day, and I'm 41 years old, and I still watch.
I still watch the movies too, but I like all those type of robotic movies and stuff. It's just animation, the graphics are just so cool. So
I actually just got done watching. I went ahead and rented that new Transformers movie that just came out, the animated one. It's like Transformers 1 or something like that.
Oh yeah, it's when they're like kids type of thing, when they're starting out, where like Optimus and Megatron are like friends type of thing.
Yeah, like
Is it
that
good?
whole. Yeah, it was really good actually.
Oh, cool.
I was actually pretty shocked because I thought it was going to be like really super childish, and it was not.
Not eh?
No, it was pretty dark and fucked up, and yeah, it was good. It was a good movie. It was worth the $18 I think I spent to like just buy it.
Listen, it's better than the live action Scooby Doo was. I can tell you that much. I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
Cartoons are always the best. Give me the OG cartoons. That's
Yeah.
all I would.
I mean, I still miss all the cartoons. Like, there's some places that you could go and watch them. Like, I know growing up, like I was real big into like Batman, Spider-Man, especially the X-Men. I loved the fucking X-Men cartoons when I was a kid.
Justice League when we were kids was great too, right? The Hall of
Yeah, Justice
all
League
that
was
stuff.
really good too.
Underdog and all of them.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, Captain Caveman.
Captain Caveman. Oh my God.
Yeah, when's the last time you heard that one?
Well, if that doesn't show her age, I don't know what will.
Hey, that goes back farther than my age. That's even farther.
Captain Caveman was awesome. That was a
He
really
was.
good cartoon. Yeah.
I asked somebody today. We got some younger people that work for my company, and I was like, "Do any of y'all ever remember Captain Planet?" And they look at me like I have like fucking 10 heads, and they're like, "That didn't exist." I'm like, "Yes, it does."
Yeah, it does.
It was ridiculous, and he had a mullet.
Yeah. There was also the Great American Hero, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah.
One of those TV shows, like way back when they tried to do the Hulk on TV and all those shows, the $6 Million Man and stuff.
Oh, I
Yeah.
remember $6 Million Man. Yeah.
The Incredible Shrinking Woman.
Yes, there's that too.
Now, speaking of, hey, Cassandra, what's up?
Hey, girl, hey.
So, speaking of that, I'm gonna throw in a bonus question because you're actually old enough to have watched this and maybe.
Oh, thank you.
Right.
But I don't know.
He's batting 1,000 tonight.
How the fuck do you know how old I am? All right,
I'm guessing you're at least my age, if not a little younger.
Okay, and you are
41.
Dude, you were still in diapers when I was already smoking crack. How about that?
Well, then you look good for your age.
You're my age.
There you go. Yeah, I'm 52.
Okay.
Damn, you're older than me, but that's all right.
Not by much.
No.
Not really. No. I'm wrong.
And no, I was not smoking crack at 12, but you know what I mean. So yeah.
I got it.
Did they play? I mean, were you born and raised in Canada?
Yes, but I grew up a lot in Daytona Beach too, because that's where my mom located when I was 12. So I spent a lot of time there too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So if you go back, were you ever a watcher of Beavis and Butthead?
Yes. But Beavis and Butthead, I used to only be able to see originally when it was on MTV at night, right after the Headbangers Ball.
Right.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
So if you go back and you think about it, what was the very first music video you ever seen on Beavis and Butthead?
How was it? Pantera or Walk? I think.
Yep, that was on there. I remember my first was Pantera, This Love.
Okay, yeah.
And then Thunder Kiss 65 by White Zombie.
Yes.
And then that dumbass, and here's a throw for a Canadian band, that fucking horrible song by the Crash Test Dummies where they made fun of it for like 20 solid fucking minutes.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe how many bands that we've had on here, and I'll ask that question. They just look at me and Mojo like we've just lost our minds, and they're like, "Yeah, that was way before our time." And I'm like, "Shit."
Yeah, no. I used to thrive on that. We actually used to have a bar called The Brick, and I used to go whatever else to get in there when I was like 15, there, whatever else. And they used to have the big TV screen upstairs, and they played the Headbangers Ball on that. You know what I mean? And we'd watch that. Then they also played Beavis and Butthead and stuff. And on the floor beneath us was where the bands would play till like 2-3 in the morning, stuff like that. So yeah, it was a cool place.
So you remember all those like MTV fucked up cartoons like The Head and Max?
Yeah, I do a bit, but we didn't have really, like I said, MTV up here per se. You know, we did, but there was a lot. I was doing a lot of other stuff too around that time, so I my memory becomes a little bit vague sometimes.
Yeah, Beavis and Butthead is what really pushed me into music. I mean, to be on that and Headbangers Ball. Because like I remember turning on MTV for the first time, and I'll never forget it. The very first video that I seen when I turned MTV on was Motorhead's Ace of Spades. And I went down the fucking heavy metal rabbit hole. From there on out, I was done.
Go ahead. I was already listening to a lot of that, but I think one of the first real videos I saw when I went down to like Florida back then in '86, it was Into the Pit by Testament off of the album New World Order, and I was like, fuck yeah, that's fucking smoking hot. You're like those down picking and that to the bird, it was like, this is crazy, you know.
And Testament was on that day because I still, for I don't know what, for whatever reason, it just ingrained in my head when I watched that first Headbangers Ball. Or the very first one that came up was Raining Blood by Slayer, and then Testament was right after, and then I think it was Metallica, and then Pantera. And then I can't really remember the rest, but those right there, like I just got addicted to heavy metal and hard rock. Like I grew up with, like, my parents listened to stuff like fucking Bon Jovi and Bruce Springsteen and stuff like that. So it was kind of on the, rock genre area. But when I heard that, I had never heard nothing like it ever in my life. And I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah. Crazy.
And then I remember getting my first instrument. They were like, what do you want? I'm like, a bass. They were like, really? You want to be a bass player? I'm like, yeah.
You want to be a bass player?
Lemmy is God.
It's like, yeah, Mom and Dad, I know I could at least count to 4. So I want to play bass.
Yep. I was like,
ahead of the game.
Which, I mean, now I done graduate up because I play a 6-string now. But fucking back then, I was just like, I want to be Lemmy. I want a bass. That's what I want to play. They're like, you don't want to play drums, guitar, even maybe keyboards? I'm like, nope, I want to play bass.
Awesome.
So, okay, then if you remember all that stuff, what about around New Year's Eve? Because when I was a child, I always had to babysit other kids, and then my parents went out and they did their, had fun. So I was always babysitting all the other friends' kids and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I used to sit there every New Year's Eve and watch MTV all night long.
Oh yeah, they had their New Year's Eve countdown and shit.
They did.
Yep. Play every single freaking metal video from like 7 o'clock all the way to like 2 o'clock.
Yeah, it was like, didn't they play like the top like 100 music videos of like?
Yeah, I think so. Of that year or whatever else.
Yeah, it was like rock and metal top 100 or something. So it was like 100 videos that they'd start at like 7 a.m. in the fucking morning and play them throughout the fucking day. Yeah, I remember that.
I was usually playing probably a show on New Year's Eve because way back then I was in like a cover band and stuff. So we used to make shitloads of money on New Year's Eve. So we used to play like parties out in I'm not going to say the buttfuckvilles, but basically out in the outskirts and stuff. And you know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, yeah. I was out in the freaking, cornfields rocking and having a good time when I was a kid.
Yeah. But we used to have like 10 feet of snow out here, you know what I mean? So power. So
no, sir. I do not do snow.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to pick or you want to roll?
Let's pick my age, 52.
All right.
52 we go. If you were asked to do a movie, what kind of movie would you make?
Hardcore BDSM porn. No,
all right. Okay, so what's the title of your movie? Apparently, you've already thought it through.
No, I wouldn't do that. No, I wouldn't do it. If I was asked to make a type of movie, it'd probably be some sort of documentary or something. I get sucked into those David Attenborough things about animals and about Blue Planet too, or this probably that type of thing. So
Okay.
All right.
yeah.
Cool. I like history and learning all that stuff too. So I
Yeah,
hear you. I'm on
it,
random.
it seems to, you know what I mean, calm the soul of a savage beast type of thing. Just watching that, So
Yeah. I understand completely. Hell yeah, man.
Gotcha. All right. So you want to pick or you want to roll?
Let's pick again. Let's go all the way to the top. 83.
Okay.
83 we go. Which one of your songs would you make as a lullaby and slowed down to put into a music box?
Let's do the instrumental track off the last album called "The Day I Died Inside."
Okay.
And it's already kind of an instrumental, slow type of feel there, whatever else. And then right at the time when the main big part kicks in, the little box would either implode, explode, or something, or do something. You know what I mean?
And the little ballerina's gonna go rah.
You know what I mean? Type of thing. And
All right. That works.
Yeah.
That works. All right. So, music question: if you guys could go on tour with any three bands of your choice, who would you go on tour with?
Are they alive or dead or?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, now we all come from different sort of backgrounds, but we're all sort of the same. Yeah. Me personally, I'd probably like to go on tour with Decapitated, Machine Head, and Exhorder.
Okay.
That's kind of my thing, you know what I mean? But hey, hopping on being you know what I mean, hopping on the bill with Lamb of God wouldn't be too bad either.
Right, wouldn't turn it down. Wouldn't turn that down.
But probably I'd say Machine Head and Exhorder. But the Exhorder, the newer stuff is good, but it's not my thing. I don't think it's the same without Vinny. So
true.
Right. So, actually, that leads me into a bonus question. Like, how do you feel about particularly bands that have this unique sound with a specific vocalist, and then something happens and they replace them? Do you think that they should just kill the band, or do you think that they can actually pull it off?
I think music is a business, and I think sometimes you don't have a choice, and you have to keep on going on. You already have a fan base, you already have a following. You either have a contract, you either have this. There's a lot of variables and things that come into account. You know what I mean? You can't always just squash them. You may have a huge debt behind you, where you're locked into a contract. You don't have a choice. You have to go on. So do I like it or not? In a business sense, music is a business. As much as we all hate to say it, it is. You know what I mean? Like we do this for our love and our passion to get into it. But once you're in it, it's a business, and business has to run. Business has to live. Business has to thrive. So you got to keep on going.
Yeah, I feel the same way that you do. And I've tried to argue this because, like, the big one right now is like with Linkin Park, and them, replacing Chester Bennington, and I'm like, yeah, they haven't been around for a long time, and they're like, well, obviously they were making money, obviously this, obviously that, and I'm like, but what if they weren't? What if they were starting to run out of money? You still got bills to pay, you still got kids, you got a wife, that has to happen.
They're still musicians. They're locked. I'm not gonna say they're locked into it. It's like they could have gone the way of like Rage Against the Machine and do like an Audio Slave or do this or there whatever else. You know what I mean? But it's not the. I don't know. That's going a little bit more different, like Audio Slave style. I don't mind the new Linkin Park. It does what it has to do. It sounds good. The songs are good. The music's good. The style is not what I prefer, but it's good music. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that still like it. You know, and there's always going to be haters. As much as there's going to be people that love it, there's going to be people that hate it. You know, there's elitists out there in every genre and everything. Yeah, whether it be art, whether it be sports, whether it be this, whether it be so. What are you going to do? You're going to live by the hate, or you're just going to push on through? You say fuck it. You push on through. This is my band, my music. I'm going to do what the fuck I want. You know?
Right. See, I think a lot of people lose sight of that. So going into the whole elitist thing, I have to ask you this question. How do you feel about so many subgenres of metal? Are you one of those guys where metal is metal, or are you cool with all the 50 bajillion fucking subgenres that they have in the elitists that are within those subgenres?
Isn't that the same thing for everything? You can do that with comic books. You know what I mean? You can go down that rabbit hole in comic books. You could do that with movies. You could do that. Just look at Star Wars people or Star Trek people. You know what I mean? It's the same thing, right? You know, it's
Yeah, Jagz, right?
Shut up. Now.
Oh, see, so
Don't you go there with me.
so
That's what you get for talking shit.
so I play metal. I write, like, you can hear it in our last album. We wrote our last album just like we write music. It's just what comes out. You know what I mean? We're not trying to write any certain style. We're not trying to do anything. Yeah, we play really tuned low. You know, we play drop G on the 7 strings and stuff. But I'm still playing thrash riffs. I'm just tuned lower. You know, it's
Yeah.
thing. And we're just writing good metal songs. You know what I mean? I try and, like, here's the thing. Setting up our stuff to Apple Music, whatever else, people have termed us, declared us death thrashcore. Why? That's just what they've termed us. So I try to go on Apple and upload my songs and whatever else. Of course, there's no genre now, death thrashcore. You know what I mean? All there is heavy metal, Christian metal, gospel metal, or whatever else. So I'm like, fuck it, we're metal. You know?
Yeah.
And what did they brand us as? Death metal. Death black metal. And I'm like, I'm not really black metal. Like some of the riffs I do some fast trills and stuff, but it's not really black metal. You know what I mean? So death metal, yeah, I'd say some of our stuff is there, but my vocals aren't really death metal. My vocals are old school 90s thrash metal type of style, you know?
Right, right.
No, I just think there's too many things to choose from. It's like, you know what it is.
Yeah.
It's metal or is it pop? Come on now.
You know what it is?
There doesn't need to be so many. I don't think we need to keep inventing new ones. Like,
yeah. If you like it, you like it. And that's all.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if
music.
It's pop, rock, glam, jam, bebop, hip hop, soul, whatever else. If you like it, you like it. It's music. How about that? Yeah. Let's just put it at that. Music.
How I feel.
Does it make your head move? That's all that counts.
Yeah. Can you feel it? Does it make you mad? Does it make you happy? Does it make, there's so many different things that music is supposed to do. It's not supposed to be fit into this box. Yeah. And artists are all supposed to be the same. They're all supposed to dress the same. They're all supposed to look the same. No. Artists are outside of the box doing what they're doing. That's why it's an art, not for people to tell you what to do.
Yeah, it's true. And you know what happens a lot of times? We get a song that people like, or we get a song that something clicks, and all of a sudden we kind of say, "Oh, should we write more like that to keep the fan base, to keep that?" And you kind of almost sometimes get pigeonholed into a certain style or sound, or somebody to do that hit again. You know what I mean? They want you. That's the formula. You know what the formula is? Writing what comes to your heart and putting out new ideas and new things. Sometimes experimenting. Sometimes experiments fail, but you keep on going. You put out another album. I used to love getting a new album, because of course back then there was no internet, no nothing. So you know what I mean. You got no previews on the albums, whatever else. You'd sit there and wait. you'd sit there and see and say, okay, the New Testament's out in 2 weeks, you know, and you'd go down to the record store and you'd sit and you'd wait for it, and shit would
Yep.
come in, and they'd unbox it, and you'd pull the first one out, and of course you can't even listen to it there. You'd have to either put it in your CD Walkman or wait till you got home on the ride of the bus, you know, to basically
Yep.
put it on your record player. And you just loved it. Why? Because it was the new album from one of your favorite bands, and you
Yep.
grew to like every song on that album, and you listened to every song on that album. Not one single that you listened to for 5 times and all of a sudden there's 1,000 other singles out tomorrow that you listen to. You know what I mean? You burn that album out. You know what I mean? You tore new rims into that record, or you scratched out the CD where it was finished, where you had to buy a new one. You know,
Yep.
wore that tape out. So I don't know. It's a little bit different, I guess, for like me. You know, music is music. So
That's how I feel too.
yeah.
Right. So you want to roll or do you want to pick?
Yeah, roll.
Roll we go. Going to go with 21. All right. What do you think would be the best band memorabilia a fan can get?
Best fan memorabilia. You know what? For me, I love band tour shirts, and I love band tour shirts that actually have the tour dates there on the back. Just because it kind of locks you into a certain time, certain this.
Yeah.
Like, I still have a Demented Ted shirt from 1994 that still has the tour dates on it, and I have an original Obituary Cause of Death tour shirt from 1980. What year did that album come out? 88, 90, somewhere there.
Yeah.
So it's basically it was black. It's like, I think, a light gray now. That's you know,
It's been well worn. You represented it.
I still keep them. I don't wear them now a lot. They just kind of sit in a bag that gets opened up every spring or summer or fall type of thing, when it's the changing of the shirts from the winter to summer. Because up here, of course, we got to do our change of clothes because we have cold weather and shit. So, you know.
See, it's sad because I've noticed over the years that tour specific shirts with like the tour dates are now like going away. Like,
yeah. You don't get them much.
Yeah,
but the tours aren't the same either. It's not like it used to be. Like used to have I'll say it, like the Motley Crue World Tour. You know, you used to have that, or you have the Megadeth tour shirts, or the Iron Maiden tour shirts from somewhere in time. You know what I mean? Or the Judas Priest tour shirts, and they were amazing artwork, and those were the only places that you could get those shirts too. So I think back then it had a different meaning to it. Like, you couldn't log online on indie merch or on our merch site, you know, loudtracks.com type of thing, and order t-shirts or merch or stuff, you know. So getting guitar picks from the tour itself, I think that's cool. When they throw out the picks and stuff, you know, jumping for the drumstick. I don't know, like I don't do that now anymore, but you know what I mean. I still, after they throw all the picks and everybody leaves, I'll still be one of the last people around the show, walking around the front of the stage there to see if there's one like in the photographer section. You know what I mean? You tell, and then like tell the security guard, hey, go down there and grab me that pick there. You know what I mean? And he's looking at you like you're some sort of psycho person, but you're like, no. You know.
Yeah, well, I think I do the same thing, because like every band that I've ever like worked with or interviewed over the years, and I've been in radio for quite a while now, I'll always get a pick from them. I have a book that's like the coins. I used to collect the coins. I've got a pick book that I'm able to put the picks in, and I've been collecting them for years and years and years of putting those picks in. So I was always a big pick guy. But like the last time I think I ever seen a tour shirt, which I actually bought 2 from that specific tour, was it was Iron Maiden and Ghost were the 2 headliners. And I bought one of Iron Maiden and one of Ghost.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say that is the last time I've been to a lot of shows, a lot of festivals, stuff like that from then. And that was probably 6-7 years ago, maybe longer. Actually, that was longer than that. I guess it's been about 9 years since that tour happened. I've never seen it since. And I'll go to shows and I'm like, these shirts are like $70 for a t-shirt. And I'm like, fuck. And then I go on my phone, I see the exact same t-shirts on their fucking website for like $35.
Yeah. I know. I know it's hard. It's hard. The last tour shirt I actually got that actually had the tour dates on it was Paleface Swiss up here, and they had a long sleeve shirt and it had the tour dates there on the back. So I picked up that. I thought that was cool. I was like, oh, that reminds me of some old days. So
yeah, I wish they would do that more, or at least have like tour specific shirts you could only get on the tour.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
You know, instead of going to the show and it's all shit that you could either get on the website or you've seen it in your local Hot Topic for $22.
Yeah.
You know, that to me that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think was it Enterprise Earth? I think they were on tour too with Paleface Swiss, and they had a tour specific shirt, which was a really cool. They like tie dyed like a whole bunch of these shirts, so they were like red, like all red and black, or all red and blue, or there whatever else. And I think those were like tour shirts only, so those were cool.
Right.
Yeah, Paleface is an awesome band.
I just started getting into them.
Yeah,
I just started getting into them.
They're smoking hot. Another killer band out there is Spite. I don't know if you guys know Spite.
I've known Spite for a while.
Awesome.
Yeah. I've seen them live once so far, and I would love to see them again.
Yeah, there's a bunch of really good bands out there. Cabal's really, really good. There's a bunch of bands out there. There's so many, it's almost hard to keep up now. That's how crazy it is. So for you to have me on your show and be able to spread the word of the Broken, I think is really, really cool of you, and I thank you very much for that.
Hey, we scour the depths of fucking YouTube and the internet to find bands, because like, yes, we sometimes do big bands on here. We've had a few big bands on the show, but we primarily go towards the indie music scene because you guys don't get a lot of push.
No, and it costs us a lot of money to do our push. You know what I mean?
Right.
It does.
In our people, we're paying for sponsored ads. We're paying for all that stuff, and that stuff comes all our own pockets. So we work our 9 to 5s just to pay for it, you know?
Right. And so that's the same thing with us. Like, we're an independent station and we all, pay out of the pocket. There's about 5 owners of this station that we all work 9 to 5 jobs, and we put all of our extra money, because this station costs quite a bit of money to fucking run everything.
Yeah. Well, your intro was great. I was like, wow, that's a really cool intro.
Thank you.
Smoking. It's good.
I actually have to throw out, I actually was in independent films for a while. I did independent horror films.
Very cool.
And I used to hang out and ask producers if like I could watch like what they're doing and stuff like that. And most of them wouldn't, but some of them did. And one in particular that I worked on a film with, he was like, hey man, this is how you do this. This is how you do this. This is the program that I use. And he literally sat there and taught me how to do a lot of like upper level type stuff, like doing intros, doing, I know how to do CGI. I know how to do animation. He fucking taught me how to do it, and I was able to up that game. But all of that shit, just like a band, all that stuff costs money. And nowadays, all this software is internet based.
Yeah.
So you have to pay a monthly fee. It's not like you could just buy it and have it forever.
You
pay a monthly fee.
But wait there. That monthly fee, let me tell you, is a lot easier for me to afford. It's a lot easier for me to afford $90 a month than it is for $5,000 when I used to have to buy the Adobe suite way back then.
Correct.
And then every they'd come up with a brand new suite and you'd have to buy it. You know what I mean? Gets really pricey now. Now I'm going back to OS 9, here.
Right.
Like not even
Yeah.
not even when it was OS X, when it was OS and Windows 3.1 and Windows 95 and stuff. So when you're dealing with, Illustrator 1 and CorelDRAW 4, still
Right.
using PageMaker before it was InDesign. So going back, type of thing. So these are some of the programs. Now, all the artwork for our albums and all of our T-shirts, whatever else, I do all that. So, because that's what I do. I do like graphic design.
Hey, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
I wrap cars. I own a fleet wrapping business, so I wrap all kinds of fleets up here and stuff. Yeah.
All right, that's
Cool.
cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So
That's
on that, I do have a bonus question for you before we get back into the little game.
Yep.
How do you feel about the music industry now as compared to back then? Like, do you like it better or do you like it where it was back in the day?
Okay. If I would have gotten signed back then when I was younger, whatever else, this or that, I probably would have liked it back then more. Now, being an independent band, there's no fuck way that you would have heard about me if it wasn't for the internet or if it wasn't for social media and stuff. So for an independent band trying to do their things, there's a lot more ways that you can get about it now. So there's pluses and minuses to everything, right? So again, do I make as much money? Do I make money? No, but I don't know if I'm doing it for the money now. Yeah, it'd be great, but I'm doing it now for the passion, and I think that's what most musicians start off with: is they're doing it for the passion, and they just love doing it. So because no normal person would want to drag $30,000-$40,000 worth of gear to a show and to pack up at 2:00 in the morning and drag it back to your jam space to get home for 3-4 in the morning to have to wake up to do other stuff. And then, so on a Tuesday.
You kind of have to get to the ugly part of the industry when you go to talk about this, because yes, the internet made it to where the record labels pretty much don't exist. If you get on a record label, it's basically just going to be a distribution deal.
Yeah.
There's the distributor stuff, which is cool. That works. If you can get on a label and get your stuff distributed, it's cool. But like PR companies, management companies, do you really need them? No. To me, that's a luxury. It's not a need anymore, because if you have the time and you have the willpower and you have the self-motivation, you could do all that yourself.
Yeah, you can. You just gotta. It's just time. Sometimes you just don't have the physical time yourself to do all that. So you gotta hire these people. You gotta pay the money to get out there. Once you have the physical streams, 100,000, 200,000 a month, whatever else, it feeds itself. But you gotta get up there, and that's not always the easy part. It's like, what are you going to do? Buy bots, and then you buy bots, and then your algorithm gets screwed, and then you get blacklisted and whatever. And so it's like, what do? Do you wait to just do it organically and be a trooper like a real person? You know what I mean? And then you get 3,000 plays in 5 years, or I don't know. I don't know. What is the right answer?
To me, it's like, people are like, how do you make it big? And I get people
money.
Exactly. That's exactly what I tell them, because I'm like, here's the thing. I said, they're like, well, we see all these new bands going on these massive tours and all that. I'm like, because they're backed with money. These are rich kids.
Yeah.
They either they got rich family, trust fund kids.
They pay to get on the tour.
Yeah, whatever. And I was like, but if you're going to get a massive and you're a little band and you want to go on tour with a big band, guess what? You're going to have to pay to play.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? And I'm like, yes, you have to pay to play.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be paying anywhere between $10,000 to $25,000 to get on that tour to go. And then plus you're going to be paying a percentage of your merch sales every single night.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've had plenty of my friends who had big bands who were making it, and then they went on one tour, and halfway through the tour, they went fucking bankrupt. They had to turn around to go home, and as soon as they got home, they got a nice little letter from the big band's fucking lawyers stating you still owe us X amount of money or we're going to sue you.
Yeah.
So, you know, to me, it's if you really want to make it, you have to fucking kill yourself to do it. Can you do it? Yes. But it all boils down to the internet made it extremely competitive, way more competitive than back in the day. It's way more competitive.
Oh, very much so, yes.
The competition level, because now all bands are even. Yep. Even if it's a big band to a small band, you're all on a level playing field. But it boils down to who wants it the most.
Yeah.
You know, that's just like stations. You know, we have stations that get mad at us because they're like, how are you guys growing so damn fast? We go live literally every fucking day with a new band. We don't do one show a week. We do 8 to 10 shows a fucking week because that's what it takes.
Awesome. Yeah. That's cool.
That's
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't heard about you guys until today, but it's not going to be the last. You know what I mean? You guys are super cool. It's super knowledgeable, and this rolling the dice kind of questions thing is cool because the story becomes organic and kind of takes on its own.
Well, you know what? It's funny that you even bring that up because, like, I worked in radio for a long time, and this will kind of play into you being a musician, and you'll understand what I'm saying. And none of my bosses of radio stations I worked for before wanted to listen to me. I'm like, these bands, they don't want to keep answering the same goddamn fucking question day in and day out. It's redundant. Yeah. You know, I used to go to festivals and I would go to my boss and they go here and they'd hand me a clipboard of predetermined questions. And I'm like, this isn't what they want. Like, make the bands have fun, make it, you know, engaging, make them think, put out cool stuff, and also get on a personal side of other shit that they like besides just the music. Yes, they want to push their music, but if from a marketing standpoint, if you can get other people to feel like they can relate to you on that level, then they're going to back your band even more.
For sure.
It could be something as simple as like, oh yeah, I like Star Wars. I like Marvel comics. They're like, well, fuck, I love Marvel comics. And, you know, they get hyped up about it. They're like, oh shit, one of my favorite bands, they're in the same shit that I'm into. They like all this other shit. And that makes them want to get into your band even more. And so I used to tell them that, and they're like, oh, you're ridiculous. So there was finally one station I worked for where they handed me the clipboard, and I'd had enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right. I took the clipboard, and I walked about 25 feet, and I threw that fucking clipboard in the trash. And I went and just asked all kinds of fucking crazy questions. The band loved it. Of course, I got fired the next day.
But the good thing is you get to see the more personal side of the band. You know, you're not seeing the carbon copy paste of the. You know what I mean? You get to actually see that. You know what? We're real people. We have real likes and dislikes and all types of things. You know, and we're like everybody else. So
it's like the human factor, you know. I think everybody is so into electronics nowadays and even trying to find your music and what your music is. But if you can relate to an artist and be like, man, they like the same music. I listened to that guy too when I was growing up, or, you know, whatever it might be, it seems to give you the more of the long lasting fan or the more long lasting companion friend or whatever you want to call them.
Very cool.
Exactly. So on that, we're going to let you either pick or do you want to roll the dice?
Let's go with 66.
66 we go. And we're going to go with make your horror character. What kind of horror character would you be?
I don't know. Seeing me naked. There are a few people there.
That's the best answer I've ever heard.
He's like, I'm just gonna make a little stick man of meat.
Best horror. I don't know. I kind of like. I guess you'd have to be type of mind fuck type of killer type of thing, where you really get into somebody's psyche type of thing. You know what I mean? Where you make kind of them kill themselves instead of you doing it. You know, just by fucking with them. I used to do that a lot when I was tripping out on acid hard and stuff, and listening to things. And I used to be able to handle shitloads of it. And I used to give my friends them, and they'd all be tripping out, and I would just you know what I mean? Just mind fuck. Listen to Alan Parsons and stuff, you know what I mean? I can read your mind.
No, don't do it.
What? You can read my mind? Yeah. You know, they'd be like, what?
Yeah, didn't you know? You told me the other day.
That was kind of like a fucking Jigsaw type thing, or like fucking Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
Hannibal Lecter to stuff.
So psycho thrillers, yeah, type of thing.
Yeah. I like those kind of movies too.
So on that, we actually always throw a bonus question on that. We always ask this because there is a trick to it. If you're locked in a house for 24 hours with any horror icon, who would it be? Now you got to think, do you want the best chance of survival, or do you want to die really fast?
I don't give a fuck. I think it'd be Pinhead.
Oh, God damn, dude.
You know, for some reason, I knew that was going to come out again.
No,
he likes to like logical stuff.
I'm a huge Hellraiser fan.
I love Clark. Is awesome. You know what I mean?
It is.
So me growing up, I'm a big horror fan. I'm a big horror buff, and I've been into it my whole life. And I actually got to host a film festival years and years ago in Las Vegas. And I actually got the chance to meet Clive Barker. And he was there, you know, at the fucking festival. Yo, what up, Scotch? Yeah. Y'all, I have to say, I'm just going to throw this out there. I'm going to promote another band real fast. If you guys have not heard of this band, fucking,
check them out.
I'm telling you, Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, fucking phenomenal. Go fucking look them up on Facebook. Go follow them.
As soon as we get off air.
They're fucking fantastic. I was jamming this shit. I've been jamming the shit out of them for like 2 weeks now, fucking constantly.
There's someone in the questions or whatever else, the comments, asking what was the inspiration behind the lyrics of "Time Pays No Respect."
Yeah.
Can I answer that?
Yeah. Go ahead. You want to answer and answer it.
The inspiration for the lyrics with "Time Pays No Respect," it actually started out Pepe, who was the old singer for this band. Basically, his dad had died, so we and it happened really suddenly, and we're like, "Fuck, man, time pays no respect." You know what I mean? And so that's pretty much what the song is about. That it's not really about his father, but it's about the fact that death happens so fast and so quick that we don't have time to even think about it or possibly ponder the situations that can arise from it and things. Yeah. So it's really that. And I'm sorry to say, but no God or no this or no faith or no anything will help you at all. So, you know, this is basically what it is. So time pays no respect. It's that clock that ever keeps on marching on, you know. The march of time conquers all. Ages crumble, empires fall. Kings and queens all shall fade. No matter what we do, it always fades away. So that's what it doesn't matter if you're a king or a queen, you're gonna fucking die anyways. You know, the march of sand, you know, the sands of time, they just keep on going. Everyone's getting there. So that's what the song's about.
Oh yeah, definitely. So on that, who would you be like? Or you said Pinhead.
Yeah, and you know what the funny thing is I don't watch horrors at all. I personally can't.
Really?
I personally can't stand horrors now because I'm so like, the fuck you go into that room for? You know, the house is saying get out, and you're like, hey, let's go downstairs.
Go in there.
I just can't do it anymore. That suspense of just I don't know. I just know what's gonna happen, and No problem.
Well, see,
And I was like, I just can't do it anymore. I watch the most stupidest comedies now just to shut my brain off. That's what I do. Like I watch like Step Brothers and Anchorman and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just to
that,
Yeah.
just kill my brain. You know?
I mean, I'm glad you
Yeah.
brought it up because that's like one of the things about me. Like that's one of the things I liked about Clive Barker.
Yes.
His stuff was so like just it was fucking genius. I mean, it made you think. There were so many different fucking levels to it. It wasn't like watching Friday the 13th or Halloween where it's like, oh, titties. Oh, I fall. Oh, you're dead.
Yeah.
Oh, titties. Oh, I fall. Oh, you're dead. And, you know, it was the same recipe. Like, I was never like, everybody always get mad at me because I'm not a big Friday the 13th fan. I'm not a big Halloween fan. I do like Freddy Krueger because Freddy Krueger was a little bit different. There was attitude, there was a personality, there was dialogue, there was this and that. I like Chucky, even though it's campy. I like the campy. I like comedy being put into horror too.
Yeah.
And it made it intriguing. But when you're just putting a dude in a mask, oh, tits, kill, die. Okay, tits, kill, die. It's the same goddamn recipe over and over. The mask might change, but the whole fucking recipe ain't changed. It's the same shit.
Yeah. I think I really like too. One that I still really like is the original Children of the Corn.
Oh, dude.
So
That opening
that opening scene.
That opening scene, the diner scene is just fucking nuts.
Ridiculous. I saw that for the first time. I think I was 7 years old. I was going. My dad used to travel the NHRA circuit. He was part of the Safety Safari, so I used to travel there with him. So we're in Indiana, and of course, with all the cornfields and stuff, and what comes on the TV at night but Children of the Corn, right? And, I was like, and I just open up my hotel window, and there's like a big cornfield there, and I'm like, where the fuck are we? Is this like real life or not? You know? So yeah, so that kind of movie stuck with me. I still watch it.
Yeah. Children of the Corn is one of those rare ones that was amazing. I mean, I'm a huge, like I said, I'm a huge Hellraiser fan.
Yeah.
And I created this character that I used to tour around the US doing different stuff, doing conventions and stuff. And that character was actually based off a Clive Barker film, which a lot of people, I feel like it's super underrated. A lot of people have no idea it even exists. But the movie Nightbreed.
Oh my God. That's an amazing movie. Amazing movie.
It's so fucking good.
It's great. My first band back, one of my first bands back in 1991 called Majester, we used to actually listen to the musical scores and pick out ideas from them to write our metal riffs, because we were trying to find something new and different to do. So that's what we used to do. We used to listen to musical scores. Like I got boxes of CDs and musical scores from, like I said, all of them, from Alan Silvestri, from John Williams, from James Horner, from all these people. And you just hear that eerie tone, those eerie notes, and you're like, what if I just put distortion to that? So, and you're like, there's a fucking metal riff now. And that's the way we used to build our riffs, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And it was listening to those type of scores, you know? But then you'd get some really cool scores like 1497, right? You know what I mean? Or was it, 1492? You know, stuff like that. So you used to get some really, really cool ones too. Last of the Mohicans was a great one too. Stuff like that.
It's kind of funny where you get inspiration from. Like, so then my next bonus question for you is, what type of music do you listen to before you go into the studio and start writing?
I don't listen to anything.
Oh, you don't listen to anything?
I try not to listen to any music for 6 to 7 months while I'm writing my album.
Okay.
I mean, that makes sense.
I try but it's fucking hard because it's all over the place, and all my friends are sending me tracks and knew that. So yeah, but I try not to. But because then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this riff sounds like this, or that riff sounds like that, and it's not even intentional, you know, like
Yeah.
like people say that I kind of sound like Corey Taylor or Rob Flynn. Dude, I'm just as old as them, if not older. So do I sound like them? I don't think I sound like them. Is it because they're inundated with hearing them way more than me, and now they're hearing me and they're like, well, you sound like Corey Taylor, and I'm like, no, I sound like Mike fucking Decker. But you know, it's just that's what they hear more. So that's why I try not to, if I can, listen to other music. I think I have enough musical ideas in my brain stored away for whatever else riff wise, and you know, and I think I've been influenced enough by Suicidal Tendencies, by Exodus, by Testament, by, you know what I mean, Deicide. You go Obituary, you go Disincarnate, all these older death metal bands and stuff. So thrash metal bands, Forbidden, Flotsam and Jetsam. You know, you could keep on going. The list is long and wide. You know.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
like for me, I actually go as far away from metal as I can.
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm listening to a lot of metal, I'll tend to start writing riffs and bass lines that are too identical to what I'm listening to. So like I listen to like a lot of like R&B type stuff. Like I listen to like a lot of like, if I'm gonna write, I'll listen to like a lot of like Post Malone, The Weeknd, you know, shit like that. Like I don't listen to metal at all. If I'm like my band right now, we're in the middle of writing an album and I'm not really listening to a lot of metal. I'm listening to a lot of, like I said, fucking Post Malone, The Weeknd, Tupac. I go back to the old fucking 90s hip hop and shit.
Yeah.
And cause I don't want to kind of recreate what I'm listening to because it's just subliminally like put into your fucking and like instilled in your brain.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, if I'm not writing at all, then yeah, I'm pure metal all day, every day. But if I'm writing or if I'm in the process of writing, no, I don't listen to it at all. So
and plus during the pre-prod section with our albums and stuff, I'm just listening to my tracks over and over and over again to try and make them better and better. There's that one note I may hear, or listening to it in the car or at work or this or at the background, and you get a different feel and you're like, oh, wait a minute, that didn't sound right. But when you listen to it straight up, it sounds right. But when you listen to it as a background thing, it's like something's not exactly right there. So you go in and you change it to make, you know, because I don't know, I try and write my music to almost where it can be background metal at a party, because that's what you kind of want, right? You know what I mean? You don't. I love tech deathcore. I love this. I love all that stuff. But I'm not into where I got to sit there and physically count and tell that person, wait for this part coming up. Wait. I personally can't do that. Not to. There's no discerned or whatever else to any of the people that play that, but it's just for me, it's not that way. I'm not gonna say I'm an old school metal guy, but I'm a groove metal type of guy. You know what I mean? A riff's got to pound, a riff's got to grind. You got to be able to sit there and just it absorbs you, and you don't have a choice but to move your head with it. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
So on that, we're pushing the time limit. Where do you guys like to engage with your fans the most? Where can they get their music? And most importantly, if you have merch, where can they get that?
You can get our merch at Loud Tracks with an X. That's LOUD tracks TRAX.com/BornBroken. You can get all of our merch and our LP there online. Right now, we actually have all the merch out of the store because we're still playing a shitload of shows. So we just have all our merch on us and stuff. But it'll be back in there as of the new year while we sit back and hibernate a bit for a couple months up here, because touring up here in the wintertime is few and far between. we're on all the platforms. You could hear us again on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, Tidal, Deezer. We interact with everyone on Facebook. If you hit us up, you hit us up through TikTok. You hit us. Yes, we're actually on TikTok now. It was my last regret that I had to join in on, but had to do it, right?
I feel your pain. I just did Instagram, so
Yeah.
it's all right.
So, but you could see, you could actually see all of our links and everything else through our Linktree account, Linktree/BornBroken. We put all of our reviews up there, all of our video streams, any live interview I do like this. Once you send me there the link for it, it'll go online so people can rewatch it, stuff like that. Everything is there. So you can watch past stuff, new stuff. You can buy our album there. Our Instagram feed is there. Everything else, our shows, you can buy our tickets from there if you're local, or if we eventually do get outside or whatever else, which is the goal. But now visas they're just killing us. You know what I mean? It's like $3,000 American per member per tour cycle. So per tour cycle. So that's not even for a full year. So if I just do like a 30-day tour cycle and I want to do another one, it's going to cost me another 3 G's, you know? So that's, so it's costly. So hence the labels help out a bit, right there. That's where the labels help out. I'm not going to recoup any money, but at least they'll pay for those bills that I'm able to get through and be able to open up the doors for more people to see to see us and stuff.
Right. Gotcha. So on that, y'all don't leave, because on ending, we're actually going to play one of their new videos, song called Am I Invisible? We love you guys. We will see you tomorrow night. You know the deal. Don't drink and drive. Wrap your fucking tool and love each other. That's it.
Don't get caught.
Oh, God damn it. There you go with that shit again.
Thank you, guys. It was a very
No problem.
pleasure. It was an honor. Thank you. Much respect.
Nice having you.
Absolutely. All right.